Sebastian Vettel has just announced his retirement from Formula 1, which is to come at the end of the 2022 Formula 1 season. Vettel is undoubtedly one of the most loved and popular Formula 1 drivers on the entire grid, and he's been in Formula 1 since 2007. He started off with BMW Sauber through to Toro Rosso before he went on to win an astonishing 4 world titles back to back from 2010 to 2013 with Red Bull, before of course moving on to Ferrari and finally Aston Martin for the final couple of years of his career, meaning by the end of this year, Sebastian Vettel will have taken part in over 300 Grand Prix. 53 victories, 57 pole positions, and 122 podiums make Sebastian Vettel one of the most decorated and loved Formula 1 drivers on the grid. He will undoubtedly be missed by fans, engineers, and drivers alike. But the news of his retirement broke through his newly formed Instagram page, where the German driver explained his decision to leave Formula 1, saying, "Next to racing, I have grown a family and I love being around them. I have grown other interests outside of Formula 1. My passion for racing and Formula 1 comes with a lot of time spent away from them and takes a lot of energy. Committing to my passion the way that I did does no longer go side by side with my wish to be a great father and husband. The energy it takes to become one with the car and with the team, to chase perfection, takes focus and commitment. My goals have shifted from winning races and fighting for championships to seeing my children grow." Clearly showing how family life has affected this decision and the time that it takes to maintain your place at the pinnacle of motorsport not being compatible with how he wants his family life to be, he then went on to add, "My passion comes with certain aspects that I have learned to dislike. They might be solved in the future, but the will to apply that change has to grow much stronger and has to be leading to action today. Talk is not enough and we cannot afford to wait." Of course, referring to his work in tackling climate change, which has often been regarded by many as hypocritical in nature. Being involved in motorsport whilst appearing on Question Time discussing the environment, renewables and energy efficiency, which of course was questioned even by the host of the show, Fiona Bruce.
And here you are, you're a Formula 1 driver, which is one of the most gas-guzzling sports in the world.
Yeah, it's true. And
does that make you a hypocrite?
It does. It does. And you're right. You know, you're right when you laugh.
Formula 1, of course, is taking steps forward in terms of sustainability. The teams and the higher-ups themselves have been pushing this more green Formula 1 with a look at being net zero carbon by 2030. But as a sport which is transporting an entire grid's worth of stuff to every single corner of the earth, you can see why the circus of Formula 1 might be a contentious issue for someone with the same outlook as Sebastian. He then rounded out his retirement video by saying, "Farewell and thanks for letting me share the track with you. I loved every bit of it." Overall, I'm personally really sad to see Sebastian Vettel go. He was one of the earliest drivers I watched in the sport, win races and championship, and he's added so much character and fun to the grid throughout his career that I wish him all the best in his next ventures. I personally even would love to see a move over to the FIA side of things for Sebastian Vettel, where he can still have a big impact on the sport that he's worked so hard in and has been so dedicated to for so long. Moving on to the wider look of Formula 1 in 2023, this is the first domino to fall in the silly season this year, and obviously poses the question as to who replaces him at Aston Martin. I genuinely think this could be a very difficult slot for Aston Martin to try and fill. Sebastian Vettel was doing incredibly well in that Aston Martin car this season. Lance Stroll really hasn't been up to the level in my opinion, and it's going to be tricky to convince someone to come into an Aston Martin team which is in so much fluctuation over the last few years. They're either going to have to convince a driver on the grid that they are moving in the correct direction and will be able to battle even in the midfield next season, or they're going to have to look to F2 and maybe bring in a rookie for the next couple of seasons or so until they settle into that midfield battle. Ricciardo, Albon, Gasly, Latifi? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who replaces Sebastian Vettel at Aston Martin for you? I'm going to be doing a big video on all of the driver changes I think are going to happen for the 2023 season after Hungary in the summer break. So make sure that you're subscribed to that down below, and also the video that would have been coming out today is now coming out tomorrow, so subscribe for that also. And of course, we've got all the streams over the course of the Hungary Grand Prix weekend. We'll be live for qualifying and the race itself, but I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you so much to Sebastian Vettel for his time in Formula 1. As I said, I absolutely love the German man, and I'm going to be really sad to see him go in 2023. I'll see you next time.
Lasciatemi guidare, perché non sono letto.